So somehow I ended up going as far as my big brother lifespan was meant to be. Like, I have no regrets at the end of the day.
How confident, I guess, were you feeling that Monte was going to take you if you had to, like, you know, on a scale of 1 to 10 or whatever? And what were you thinking the moment he cut you?
Well, I would have taken him. When I asked him with that end, the like vote, the question or whatever, I was like, with you evicting me, how am I going to, why do you expect my vote? And he said, well, I found out you had a final 2 with Kyle, and then that changed everything. And I know that was his filler answer. That wasn't the case. We had talked about that extensively. All the time he was like, dude, just so you know, we came to one another, and Kyle was already like going out. It was in the I'm like 99% sure that was in the process of Kyle already being on his way out the door. And so like, I know that wasn't the case. I think that was just the first thing that came to his head, and he would have done better if he just, as far as the jury told me, he would have done a lot better if he just took me to the end. So I didn't expect that, but my jury management was awful, so I understand it. But with that being said, as Monte would say, it was a blunder, and I think he could have won if he was against me, because people did not love my gameplay.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not out here saying you played terribly, but I guess it was the jury management. I don't know.
I don't even know how you get the jury to like you. I tried my best. I was like, I have my frenemy, Jasmine is there. I really don't have a huge relationship with Indy. We've only talked a handful of times. Like, I kicked out Michael. I kicked out Kyle. Like, I voted out Alyssa. Maybe I could have made other decisions, but like, I'm just taking it one day at a time at the end of the day. I don't know. I'm trying my best, and that's all I can do.
Yeah. Well, so let me ask about a couple of things, because I think that one thing was you didn't seem to take credit. Like, even Michael said, he's like, in the jury, he's like, you know, in Turner's goodbye message, he didn't seem to take credit for getting me out. And he felt like you should have. Do you think you could have done more there?
You know, that is a very good point, honestly. And with that being said, like, I don't know, maybe I am overly passive or need to be more confident in the actions I did, because maybe I should have stood on the ladder rung that was kicking out Michael. And I did kick him out, but honestly, I think I'm just being self-aware. Monte also did a huge part in kicking out Michael. And not that I'm like trying to step down from that, because I think I did a lot of big moves. But at the end of the day, I think it was almost a 50-50 split. I don't know what was aired, but when Monte was like, we're kicking out Michael, when I walked into that room during the double, I was like, oh, wait, that's the plan? I totally forgot. So somehow I ended up going as far as my big brother lifespan was meant to be. Like, I have no regrets at the end of the day. I figured, like, I've never been in the Big Brother house before, and I have seen, I think, 6 seasons. So like, I don't know. It was just, I was trying my best, and I guess maybe some of the ways I could have, I guess, changed my attitude or been more confident about things, or even been less confident about some things, like the fact that I was willing to die on Lil Pump being the best musician of all time. But that was a me and Jasmine debate that we got into. But either way, you know, if I'm brought back for All Stars, which maybe America would hate or love, I don't know, I will then take what I learned and just thrive from there.
Okay. Well, do you regret voting out Alyssa? Because if you kept Alyssa and Brittany in the game, I feel like you had a good shot to win. I
think that's the case, but I've definitely heard that in these press interviews, and I heard that from when I was backstage with all the members, and that seems to be my biggest mistake. But simultaneously, I was trying to honor my final 2 with Monte and not put him in the position of having our final 3 member get kicked out. And if as far as I was concerned, Brittany was going to vote out Alyssa anyway. So a sympathy vote when I am then in the last group of the house and have to put people in worse positions than they're going to be, they're just going to be mad at me and find an excuse to kick me out anyway. And that was my line of thinking. I was like, me putting Monte in that position, what am I going to gain if she's going to go anyway? But I didn't know Brittany was going to flip the vote. And if she told me, maybe I could have been on board. But obviously she did the whole Brittany hoops hypnosis tirade and just was like in my head. So I had a tough day after that. I shed a lot of tears. I don't know what was in an episode, but like, I don't know. I should have, but I didn't have the information that America had, so I couldn't have known.
Yeah, it's hard. You don't have all the information or the full picture. We do. You voted for Monte. You said it was a kind of a quick decision. What were you thinking, I guess, in the moment?
Yeah. So like, as I've said in my other interviews, the worst speech of all time when putting in a key, I was like, the jury members had the round table. They could decide what they were saying. I was like, I asked the people next to me and they were like, I don't know if we can tell you who we're voting for. So I was like, perfect. I guess I'm just going to have to decide. And I didn't want to be on the wrong side of the vote. And I figured Monte was going to win. So I did the wrong thing and the exact opposite of what I wanted to happen, because I didn't want to look like I was bitter. If everyone was voting for Monte and then I vote for Taylor, and then I look like a bitter jury member for then because he voted me out, not picking him. But at the end of the day, Taylor played an incredibly resilient game. She went up against a war of obstacles every single week. And I think honestly, I think they both deserve the win. I think Monte had a very good competitive game, and Taylor just had an incredible game outside of that. I didn't want to be on the wrong side of the vote, which I was. And also, I didn't know what everyone else was doing when they all made their decision. So I was like, all right, I'm going to vote for my boy. Yeah,
I knew you weren't going to try to vote bitter, because I know what you told Alyssa about separating game and friendships and all that stuff. So
I was trying to ease her into me voting her out. That was that. I was like, all right, okay, yeah. I don't know what's aired, but like, I had a fun season. That's all I can say.
All right. No, I know we got to go. Real quick, you kind of mentioned it. Would you ever play Big Brother again?
Oh, absolutely. I would be on The Amazing Race or The Challenge or Big Brother or Family Feud for all I care. I'd put me on something. I had an incredibly fun time. I enjoy being on camera. And so if I'm asked to come back, I'll be there. And I hope that this season comes back for The Challenge, because I'll be there too.